jolly day, would you like to try our peach mango pie with a side of case 3 of the Great Ace Attorney? Because if you do, then let's go ahead and get started.
Hiya, hey. Welcome back. Very soon. Oh, the chat didn't even clear, Lamau. Welcome back. I can't believe I'm so silly. I wasn't monitoring, so I forgot that I ended on my ending screen and not the starting screen. But welcome back. I wanted to play a little bit more. Since I have some extra time, we'll go ahead and start off case 3 of the Great Ace Attorney's first game. Evening Blue, hello to you. Shadow Girl, thank you so much for being first. I hope everyone is still doing good today. Did I even ask the check-in question for the first stream? Lamau, if you guys want to answer today's check-in question for both streams, today's check-in question is, what game is hopefully coming out this year that you're looking forward to? Feel free to let me know. Hey, hello to you, Ghastly Melon. Hello. We didn't get a check-in, I think. Oh, well, you're here to call me out. Hades 2. Ooh, yeah, for sure. Also, thank you guys so much for being patient. I had to take a call, and then I also just heated up some dinner so that I have something in my stomach. So forgive me for 1 second to just also catch up on eating. Oh. But I'm totally looking forward to Hades 2 as well. All right. Without any further ado, The Adventure of the Runaway Room.
Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter. A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night. Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner.
Ooh!
My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident, "I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude. The beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together."
Oh, he's interested in Ryu. We got a polycule. Oh, he's so handsome.
Amazing. Is this really just a railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives. This country is incredible.
Oh, she's so cute. Welcome back, Relix. Brian's Coco.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
In that case, the Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure.
My pleasure.
I suppose you're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay.
Episode 3 where we go full anime? What does that mean?
To the centre of the world. Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
Okay there, imperialism. I suppose the new Fire Emblem, me too. For sure, me too. It's coming out real soon. With Engage, I was kind of debating, are you not seeing the fully animated cutscene? Yeah, for sure. It's the T-Land. I would for Fire Emblem. I'm not sure if I want to. Hold on. 18 February 9:21 a.m. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. I'm not sure if I want to actually stream or if I want to play it for myself and take a week off streaming, or if I want to just stream it and then like maybe not be as interactive just because like I really want to experience the game, you know? I don't know. We'll see what I feel like and if you guys are cool with it. What an incredible place! It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating. This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress. Wait, Lollipop Chainsaw's getting remade? This reminds me of Knight's Journey of Dreams, where literally everyone has a Brit. Well, I mean, like, yeah, this game was specifically dubbed in Britain because obviously, like, they wanted, you know, them to be British, since it's the English that they're speaking. But what I'm just reading everyone a standard American because I'm not that good with a British accent, so I'm only reading like Sholmes and sometimes Hosonaga with a British accent. There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course, but they've only been built in the few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper of our most buildings are constructed from. It's certainly unfamiliar. But I think there's more to the differences than just construction materials. What is this place again? This is the Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruhodo-san, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. The Lord Chief Justice. We had instructions to report here at this time, if circumstances were different. We were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know what we had arrived from Japan. But Kazuma can't. No. So instead, we are here in a different capacity. As envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. Still at work but on a small break. Aww! Thanks for stopping by during your break. Oh wait, I don't have my badge anymore. An armband I inherited from Kazuma. It identifies the wearer as a defense lawyer throughout the Empire of Japan. 2023? Oh gosh. Maybe I can finally play Lollipop Chainsaw. These are the scales of justice. They're a symbol of the defense, aren't they? Yes, that's right. The scales are a symbol of fairness to show that all are treated equally in the eyes of the law. And they're a warning to those who enter the courtroom without an impartial mind. But if they're the mark of the defense, it would be more auspicious if they were weighing more heavily on the not guilty side, I think. Our man. Very impartial, I'm sure. I can't find anything out of place. The lawyer's name is embroidered on the inside here. Look. Kazuma Asogi. This was his band, of course. He gave us a band! A wedding band! A wedding lawyer band! He had his heart set on the study tour in Great Britain. I'm sure he would have found the truth he longed for here. But he lost his life before he even had a chance to see the place. I have such a strong sense of hopes and dreams when I look at this armband, though. And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done. So, we'd have to return to Japan. Wait, you're the bit that became reality. Yeah, he really gave you the... Exactly! Duh! We're married! We got married in the first trial, remember? If we want to remain here in Great Britain, I have to take Kazuma's place as a law student selected for the study tour. Yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer. Which is what I've been studying for. Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way that we'll be able to remain here in London. I hope I'm up to scratch.
Ah, good morning. Sorry for keeping you.
Oh! Oh.
I trust you aren't too
No, yeah.
I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. It seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies.
Oh, no, don't mention it. We're never happier than when we're standing around with nothing much to do.
Oh, fortunate. So, in introductions, I am Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire.
Ugh, I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Male Strongheart, 52 years old, the Lord Chief Justice who wields absolute authority in judicial matters, including the appointment of lawyers. He's a thoroughly intimidating man. He's the bad guy in this case. Come on, Mr. Naruhodo, don't be a mouse. It's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo. Welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire.
Yes, thank you.
So,
Weird. Hold on, I gotta plug in my controller.
what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London?
Oh, well, no. Oh, I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city. All I see is this hot, beefy man in front of me. He's kind of old and he looks a little bit intimidating, but I just can't stop staring at him. It's simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh?
We had a wonderful view of some of London's streets through the carriage from the way here from the station. Gilf. Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say I'm almost lost for words.
I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped water and gas, even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded. Oh, imperialism.
Oh, yes. Astounded is the word. Thanks for saving me there, Susato-san. And everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor.
Yes. There's much excitement about the upcoming great exhibition we'll be hosting here in London.
Great exhibition?
Cultural and technological advancements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle.
You know what? Let me just use this.
It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop.
Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be.
Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world.
Even if you do say so yourself. What, is it too comical with the pitch down? Would you rather have the pitch down or me doing it naturally? While you guys answer, I'm gonna eat some more of my dinner. I can't monitor it, so. I love it. You know, does he sound like just too obviously evil with the pitch down? Pitch down is great.
The sun will never set on our great empire!
It's a bit much, but it's hilarious. Okay, good. Well, this one's a bit much anyways.
Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun.
Lord Chief Justice? I think you were expecting a student of law for the study tour, weren't you?
Whoa!
Absolutely. Mr. Kazuma Asogi, if my memory serves.
That's right.
The British government has already been telegraphed a full report of this situation. I understand that the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores.
Oh, that's amazing. The news reached him even before we arrived.
Sadly, I'm not sure what is coming out. Not that I yet have any way to play it.
My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours.
Oh, thank you.
And you have honored this appointment specifically to inform me of this news?
Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person.
They tell me you Japanese are a bunch of people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that this is true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means the study tour arrangement can no longer proceed.
If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart.
What do you have to say, madam?
It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal.
Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo?
This is it then. A moment of truth. The thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead.
Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead. But without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done.
Well, in that case, I'm looking forward to checking out what super indie games are being released.
What if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean.
Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country. And that was Mr. Asogi. At least, that is what I've been led to understand.
Well, the thing is, this isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man. Mr. Naruhodo! I could ruin things here if I'm not careful. What am I gonna say? If there's someone else here from Japan who could be described as a lawyer, it's me.
I can do it! It's Miss Susato!
Is that so?
I mean, I don't have any qualifications as such, but...
No qualifications, you say? And yet you still claim to be a lawyer.
I have acted as a lawyer in court before.
Only once, as it happens.
And I had Kazuma to help me, and I was the accused, but glossing over the details.
I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was still on board the SS Buria.
The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training.
I realize it's far too short a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Asogi's journey has only just begun. Coming here on this study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I would do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. Just one chance. That's all I'm asking for. Please!
31 seconds.
Sorry?
Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo. It was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer.
Oh, thanks.
So you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment.
Huh?
But let me ask you one thing first, sir.
Yes?
You said you intend to do everything Mr. Asogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path?
Well, yes. That's my intention. I'll even marry myself if I have to.
I see.
Am I imagining things? Or did his expression just alter a fraction there for all of a sudden?
Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you.
Really? So, what form will the test take exactly?
Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be?
Well, defending people, of course.
Well said. So, let's have you defend someone.
Huh?
Your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an apt trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense as yet, so this will be welcome news.
Today? Straight away?
If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test. What could be simpler?
How do I get myself into these situations?
Well, could I ask? What sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart?
Yes, good question. Ah, I remember. It's another murder where the murderer is already considered guilty.
What did I fucking tell you guys? What did I tell you? A murder?
An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose.
That's easy to say.
But I should mention, just in case, if the defendant is found guilty, he will of course be sentenced to capital punishment.
Capital punishment?
He'll be put to death?
Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably you read that much in your short C-based introduction to British law?
We can't possibly agree to such a test. We would be toying with a man's life.
I am the Lord Chief of Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable.
It's always a murder. It's always a murder.
But you can't do that, can you?
There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure you don't lose.
What else would it be? I don't know. Cheating, infidelity, something not murder? Hold on. Give me a second to finish my dinner. Nagashin, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. Welcome in. Don't you know murder's the only crime in Britain? Hello, Nagashin. Can we give a warm constellations welcome to Nagashin for being new here? Ace Attorney be like, oh, it's Monday and nobody's died yet. Time to change that. No. Don't you know murder's the only crime? The only single one? And that's right. Parking tickets no longer exist. Jaywalking is okay. The only crime is murder. You only really get put to trial if it's murder. Okay. Oh my god, those potatoes were so good. You guys are silly little gooses. Geese.
So the defendant may live or die depending on how well I perform in court. If I lose, he'll be hanged.
Mr. Naruhodo, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your boyfriend, Mr. Asogi. I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen.
This sounds like the beginning of an anime too.
He's testing my resolve.
What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be?
What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test?
All right then. If I have to give you a decision now, my answer is
I can't do it. I can't get the words out.
15 seconds. Your decision-making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow.
now let's give up. No.
So, it's as I suspected, is it?
Sorry?
You have noble intentions but lack the resolve to see them through.
If I didn't know better, I'd say this man sounds like a murderer. Exactly. Look at his face.
The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire your ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over.
Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance. Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry, Miss Susato. But what could I do? It's all right. I understand. You do? It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. But resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it.
What are you trying to say, madam?
I think what Ms. Susato means is that no matter how badly I'd like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable. And I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, the particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice.
Wait, Mr. Naruhodo!
Oh! Was there something else?
It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time.
But I just said that.
I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him.
What?
Are you voicing these? I am, yeah. Obviously, I'm using a filter for Stronghold, but yes.
At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. He will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down.
But that's awful!
But that is the truth.
Why does it have to be like this?
Please don't expect an answer to every question. The cold, hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end.
I was so confused why your VTuber's mouth was open with two different bitches talking. I mean, I could just read it the way I normally would.
And that is you.
I'm really his only hope?
So, what do you say now, madam?
Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart?
You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. And I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve.
Oh!
Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves!
Strongheart calling Susato madam. Please, how old is she? She's 16.
He's gone. The Old Bailey. If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once. Miss Susato, can I just ask you something? Careful, from this position, I can perform a Susato takedown in an instant. I know. Mr. Naruhodo, you heard Lord Strongheart. The trial starts imminently. If I need to throw you, I will. You know, you could just say I think we should hurry to the courtroom.
Do you care if minors watch your stream, or do you want it only 18 plus? Just asking because some people want 18 plus and don't put it in their rules. I'm cool with minors watching and joining, and being a part of the conversation and all that. You guys are fine. I only ask that minors don't join the Discord server because you know, I believe Discord's rules are community has to be 18 plus, and I personally just don't want to be responsible for minors. But if you or anyone here, you know, that is under 18, like wants to just listen to the game and like want to, you know, I'm not gonna like be like, don't talk in chat. Like if you guys have anything you want to say, like feel free. Just understand that obviously I'm an adult and a lot of the people here are probably adults.
If we hurry and catch a cab, we may just make it to the courthouse on time.
Thank you for following and joining the constellations, Fruity Bonzo. 18th February, 9:45 a.m. The Old Bailey, Defendant's Antechamber. And of course, as always, this applies to everyone. Just be careful and be safe with how you interact online and, you know, how much you want to reveal about yourself. Don't go around yelling your ages or anything like that if you don't feel like it. But yeah, you guys are more than welcome to watch the streams. Also, just probably be aware that I curse a lot.
Oh, thank goodness. We're in time.
Sky-chan, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. Welcome in.
There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins.
I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were going to rattle loose.
Do you hear what I had said to the driver when we climbed aboard? Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favorite lines from the Sherlock Holmes stories, and it worked quite perfectly.
I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were going to die, and we had to pay gold for the privilege. You're so handsome. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it.
Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started.
Yes, I suppose there's that.
Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all. So, this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for defendants still is to wait in grand.
Blah, 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 blah.
Are you all right, Mr. Naruhodo?
I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever's about to be sentenced.
It feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed. Yes, whoever the man you defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment.
Top of the morning to you, madam, sir. Oh my god! What are you doing following me here? Things are fair desperate, are they? Sorry? Did you look at these expressionless faces? You from the East, are yous? We're from Japan, yes? Ah, Japan, is it? Right, say no more. So? How much do yous need?
No, we're just here because...
No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, barely a penny to your name, and all while strange, faraway land.
Well, actually... we haven't found a place to stay yet, no.
'Tis grand, 'tis grand! They start by giving yous 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now.
1,000 guineas?
Please, Miss Susato, you don't have to shout!
But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo!
What? 'Tis nothing to me at all. I'd like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I have enough wealth to buy the City of London 2 or 3 times over.
Could that much rain even fall in one day?
Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money.
That hit me in the eye.
Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it to you no strings attached. I'll be wanting you to do something for me. Oh? To be honest, it's a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, is for me good old self here. I'll be in the dark. So now what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but it's just a little detail now. Oh, well, the thing is, don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me, nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial's going to start without me having any kind of representation at all.
So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up.
I'm terribly sorry to ask you this, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial?
Luster and blazes, do yous not know who I am? Me, one of London's biggest names?
No, sorry. We've only just arrived in the city, you see.
Well, I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park there in the center of London's another beautiful park.
Sorry? A park? What?
It's called McGilded Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did.
An entire park? In central London?
City of Smiles, that's my vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its square old people.
That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary.
What's his profile?
Magnus McGilded, the defendant in this case. He's an incredibly wealthy philanthropist with a wonderful reputation in London. I'm to defend him as a test of my worthiness to become a lawyer.
But now they have got the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGilded. What's the matter with this London police, I ask you?
All right, don't pass out.
Mr. Naruhodo, perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath.
Good idea.
Mr. McGilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our best.
What was I saying, you daft idiot? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I?
Well, yes, but I wasn't really offering to just stand up there next to you.
Oh, I think I see what's going on here.
Sorry?
I know what you're thinking. This chancer of a fella claims to have more money than the Queen. But if it's true, why the blazes can't he hire the finest lawyer in all of England? Because he did! That's the only explanation! Well?
Well?
Does the choice matter here?
Not at all. Although, it is a little strange, to be honest.
Well, you don't have a
you don't have a lawyer, I mean.
That would be the fault of the Reaper.
Sorry?
Did he just say Reaper?
Aye, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Barrack von Zykes. He's the Oh, we're gonna meet him!
The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper?
When Van Zykes stands for the prosecution, they call the accused as sacrificial lambs. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned.
What?
So it's reached the desperate situation where there's no one willing to stand in defense against this fella at all. You could say he's a living legend of the Old Bailey.
Goodness, Lord Barrack von Sykes. He must be an exceptionally hot man then, a talented prosecutor then.
Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed.
Cursed? What on earth?
The defendant is summoned, and his counsel. Please make your way to the courtroom. The trial is about to begin.
His counsel? That would be me.
Oh, just time. Well then, fella, don't let me down.
But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me anything what happened.
Until you showed your face here. I've made up my mind, so I had.
Sorry?
I decided I'd have to defend myself in there.
How would that have worked?
I know you're waiting for Van Zykes. I know everyone's waiting for him. Don't worry. Don't worry, thirsties. Then you made an appearance. Student of law, wouldn't you know? 'Tis no accident, I can assure you that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please.
I literally know nothing about the case, or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I just can't turn my back on him.
Mr. Naruhodo, the man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes, something that Kazuma would have never allowed to happen.
Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you would lose your right to stand.
I'll be right there.
It's happening then. My first trial in a British court. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because I have no idea how I'm gonna manage this!
February, 10 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. So, this is the highest court in Britain, the Old Bailey. Centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court in Japan. It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes. What? Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again. I know, but I just can't help it.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared.
That must be the Reaper of the Bailey.
He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld.
Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English?
Huh? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry.
But he asked if the defense was ready. And I couldn't be further from ready if I tried.
Those eyes, please.
Oh! No! No! He has yellow fever!
Those eyes please me. Nipponese. They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb.
A cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tips of my toes. This guy's a creep.
Now, Mr. McGilded.
Yes, my lord.
You stand accused of murder, a capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. And you're quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner?
Damn, okay, racism. As I've always said, my lord, 'tis a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if the fella's just a student from some little island off in the far east. Oh my god! It is not the British way to ignore the dangers of ye self and give those less fortunate a fair chance. I'd like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud. Listen to Mr. McGilded. What a fine gentleman London has in him.
Did you hear that he donated £5,000 to the government the other day?
Mother, can we please go play in the Gilded Park?
It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded. That's definitely welcome news, and he certainly has a way with words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him.
Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded, and most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public have been elected for your impartiality.
They look very partial, but okay.
Are you ready to proceed? Yes, my lord. The task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong. I'm more than ready.
At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree.
Ha! Any criminals here would be wishing they never set eyes on me.
I feel chill.
Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these mitts for my grandson.
Mr. Naruhodo, those people are... The jury, yes. That's something we don't have in Japan yet. That's right. I've only ever heard about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passing sentence according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. So the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view. But how exactly do the jurors give their verdict? That I don't know, but I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses. Yes.
Prosecutor Van Zykes. My lord. It's been a number of years since we've seen you in here in this courtroom. I thought you'd renounce your fame. I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity. So, what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstance of which the court should be aware? I leave that to your imagination, my lord.
So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years.
Why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback?
Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo.
As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, there is a case of overwhelming simplicity.
We must be the only ones in here who aren't aware.
The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks, known in the community as thrice-fired mason.
Sorry? Thrice?
He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible. The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service to the streets of London at the time. A dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death. Here is the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard. Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence.
The autopsy report has been entered into the court record.
The photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record.
And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well. And these are... Oh, good lord! Is that blood, counsel? Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested.
What?
Mr. McGilded's gloves have blood on them?
Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well.
The defendant's leather gloves have been entered into the court record.
Oh, how did I get into this? I'm backed into a corner before I even started.
Continuing.
Let's look at these really fast. Hold on. Victim thrice-fired mason. Male. Age 54. Occupation brickmaker. Time and cause of death. 15th February, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Stabbed once in the abdomen with a knife whilst journeying in an omnibus. Died due to internal hemorrhaging resulting from the trauma. This is definitely blood, isn't it? Not the most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London. Well, nothing will come out of grumbling now. No. By the way, is Mr. McGilded right-handed? Yes, I believe so. He was toying with a coin in his right hand a little earlier. Ah, pity. If only he'd been left-handed. I think blood on either glove would be fairly incriminating, really.
According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time.
Only 2?
Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. The other was the accused, Magnus McGilded. Well, rather damning circumstances, to say the least. Defendant, what say you?
Well, of course, I had no recollection of such a thing. Mr. McGilded! To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening. But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness. I always succumb to it.
Are you claiming to have been asleep?
Is the notion of the carriage, Mr. Milord. Lilted so it is, so when I opened my eyes again, was a desperate sight before me. The body of a man I'd never laid eyes on before in me life. Now I ask yous, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding out from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand.
So the blood got onto the gloves then, after the man had been killed.
Unfortunately, that statement of the driver's is only the beginning.
What? That's not all of it?
There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brick mark maker was fatally stabbed. Order! 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 When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage. And there were witnesses to the crime.
Do we have a profile on him? Hold on. How old are you?
32. Ooh. Ah.
A prosecutor known as the Reaper of the Bailey. Supposedly the souls of those he prosecutes are eternally damned one way or another. Yep, that looks like the Edgeworth.
This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused.
Ah!
Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we will hear testimony from those witnesses first of all. Your wish is my command. Bailiff! Bring the witnesses in at once.
Oh.
Witnesses, your names and occupations.
My name is, well, everyone calls me Beppo. I drive an omnibus in the East End.
Bruce Fairplay. I'm a banker in the city.
My name's First. Lady First. I am. Make hats for gents. Ladies first.
Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witnesses to the aforementioned incident.
Joshy boy, welcome in.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Quite right.
Yes, sir. That's right, sir.
Very well then, let's proceed to the formal testimonies, please.
Oh god, are we gonna be in Britain for the rest of the game? I can't do British accents for everyone.
Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw.
Sheesh, Team Sweet crushed it. Oh, did Team Sweet win? Oh, Joshy boy, thank you for the care package. All right, everyone. Oop. Let's all go ahead and do a group stretch together. So let's all get out of our seats. And hold on, let me get out of my seat. Twist our bodies to the left. Twist to the right. Stretch your arms up straight to the sky. Roll out that right shoulder. Roll out that left shoulder. Very slowly and very gently, roll out your neck. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And drink your water. Thank you for the care package, Joshy boy. $56.84%. Wait, Sweet, like, completely won? Let's a freaking go.
This is what a superstar looks like.
Well, congratulations on finally being free from Splatfest hell. I did not attempt to play the game again because I just didn't want to be heartbroken
from the thought of being able to play and then not actually being able to play. Oh yes, Team Sweet won. Okay. Oh, that's popularity. Hmm.
It was the last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers. I remember it well.
The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then, out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts.
That's right. He stabbed him. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it.
As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus, and then I saw it too.
Unambiguous testimony, I might say. Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident on the omnibus with their own eyes.
I'd like to ask a question, if I may.
Yes, counsel?
Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever.
Why not?
Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it?
As has been clearly stated from the outset, yes.
Well, in that case, how could those two witnesses probably have seen what happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of the moving carriage!
How? Wait. I read that civilization in the Eastern Land Island nations was a good century behind our own. But you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses?
Huh?
Tell me, my Nipponese friend, have you even traveled in an omnibus?
Well, no. We, only arrived in London this morning.
No matter. I've arranged for us all to see for ourselves. The actual scene of the crime, that is.
What? What do you mean?
The actual scene? How?
A carriage is designed to be moved, after all. Presumably you understand that much.
Yes?
The omnibus in which this bloody crime took place in here today. In this very building.
Here? What? The entire carriage?
Bailiff! Bring forth the stricken omnibus!
So that's an omnibus. The omnibus.
I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing.
As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers. Four passengers are seated inside the enclosed cabin, and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows the best views of the city's architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus. And I should point out to our foreign guests that there is a skylight in the roof, allowing for a view of the interior from the seats above.
Ah, a skylight. Oh!
The penny drops at last, I see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on this omnibus when the murder took place. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Though the skylight.
Ugh, that makes perfect sense.
Well, counsel, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom. There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. That is the prosecution's wish. Very well, I see no reason why not. This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence.
The omnibus has been entered into the court record. 8-seater omnibus that was the scene of the crime. There were passengers both inside the carriage and on the roof deck that night. I can't believe it! The entire crime scene entered as evidence?! Well, let's open the door and go inside, shall we? Ugh, the scene of a murder. It's horrible. That's blood that's soaked into the seat. The victim's, obviously. Yes, and that seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck. Would you really stab somebody in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder? Well, it was after dark, and there was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside the skylight. Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. This seat looks reasonably soft, but it's actually rather hard when you sit on it. And only just wide enough for two gentlemen to sit side by side, really. Of course, an English gentlewoman would be dressed in such finery. It would be quite impossible for her to climb up to the roof deck, so she would have to be seated in here. A woman in a kimono would have the same problem. Women's clothes are very impractical, aren't they? Have you ever seen girl jean pockets? This seat has a handle, it seems. This looks like all sorts of equipment that might be needed to keep the omnibus running. Feeding tubs, tools to repair wheels, blankets, horseshoeing tools. So it's a storage compartment for the coachman to keep his things, it seems. There doesn't seem to be any space for passengers to stow their luggage, that's for sure. Well, I don't imagine it would be very convenient for that purpose anyway. Okay, so there's nothing, I can't open any of these? Ah, that's a poster for the great exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition. Reisna, where are you? Ooh, the Crystal Tower. It's under construction already, I believe. People all over London must be fizzling with excitement at the prospect of such a grand event. Ah, there's a poster for the great... Wait, that's the same thing. Have you seen enough? Let's step back outside then. What? I love that this, like, would this just happen in the middle of a trial? Nezuko, thank you so much for the biddies again. Oh, you're so generous with them. And what for? So this is the roof deck of the omnibus. Oh, you must have a wonderful view of London streets from up here. So people sit all the way up here on bitter winter nights with the cold air rushing past them? And they have to pay money to do so? I can't imagine how cold it must feel. That just made me think of something horrible. Can you imagine being dragged around the city in the freezing cold as a punishment? Perhaps that is the real price you pay to stay out late. You can certainly see the inside of the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. so I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly.
That's not good for us.
No one, lawyers I don't think would be investigating these kinds of things. Oh. What? Wait, what? I can't find anything out of place. That's very out of place. Phoenix Wright Omnibus? Wait, hold on. I gotta be careful about looking up like the omnibus, like the Wikipedia page for it, because obviously there's like a possibility that like I could get spoiled on the trial. But did that exist? Yeah, wait, someone asked, is this a little Easter egg in the Japanese version? Or was it the Gyakuten Saiban? Was it his Japanese name's like Ryuichi Naruhodo? It was. The Phoenix Wright has always been there, even back in the original Japanese 3DS store. Oh my god! That's cute! They had Phoenix Wright on it, even in the original Japanese? That's so... I love that so many people have, like, asked this, that, like, it's a top Google search term. Is that all there is for us to look right now? That's so funny. Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary. Yeah, our boy, he's Phoenix's descendant. Or Phoenix is his descendant.
I could help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here.
Although, I guess a descendant in the sense that they probably found Ryunosuke and Kazuma probably found a surrogate mother that was willing to carry their child and have that child become the eventual ancestor of Phoenix Wright. Because obviously Ryunosuke himself is a homosexual.
Let us continue with the proceedings then. Your cross-examination, counsel. Ray, don't expect this Nipponese stray to understand the intricacies of a British court's cross-examination rights.
All right, my first cross-examination in a British court. Focus, Ryunosuke. Focus!
I didn't screenshot that! That was so cute! Can I go back? Can I go back? Can I go back? Can I go back? I'll save here. I'm going back to the autosave. Yes! Okay, I can screenshot it! Thank you.
Hold it!
Hold it! Yes, I think there was some time after 10, wasn't it? Oh, yes, sir, that's right, sir, yes. Ever so cold it was, sir. Freezing, in fact. Excuse me. If I may, Mr. Fairplay.
What are you fossicking for now?
That last statement appears to have given you pause for thought.
Not really.
By the way, you always seem to be looking to the side, one way or another. Do you have some, affliction?
Not really.
He's not really willing to say anything, it seems.
It's none of your business anyhow.
Hold it! And you had 4 passengers on board at the time, is that correct? Ryu's Phoenix's ancestor, but through surrogacy because Ryunosuke's gay. That's right, sir. Not all traveling in the same parts of the bus, though. No.
And there were no other passengers when the incident took place. No one alighted, for example.
You're quite right with that, sir. No other passengers like that. No, none. So nobody fled the scene of the crime then?
I have to say the boss insists on it running, he does. Every night, that bus... But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, sorry to say.
What do you mean by that?
Well, with it being so cold and everything, and only making 20 pence on the run, you see. Yes, I spend that much at the pub on my way home, just trying to warm up again.
Hold it! And you saw them through the skylight in the roof of the carriage?
That's right. When you sit on the top deck, the window's right there at your feet. There was a lamp on the inside, so I had a pretty good view. The 2 of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. But there's not a shred of doubt in my mind that it was Mr. McGilded.
How can you be so sure?
Well, how can I put it politely? McGilded is a gentleman of rather small stature. I couldn't have mistaken him for anyone else. Let's not forget that when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased Mr. Mason and Mr. McGilded. There's no room for doubt here.
I really wish there was. Hold it! You actually saw the exact moment it happened?
Didn't I already testify to that? Or a fair dinkum. Hardworking city bankers not considered trustworthy these days.
Oh, no, I didn't mean that.
This is no good. I've really got his back up.
Perhaps you could just tell us what you saw in a little more detail. It's...
My lord! A juror number 3, what's the meaning of this?
My mind is made up, my lord, completely and utterly made up.
Made up about what?
I don't like the stinking rich. Never have.
They've always up to something or other that they shouldn't be. Every one of them. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. Well, he can't fool me! Wait, what? There's no point wasting time listening to any more of this. That's my opinion on the matter anyway.
That is precisely what I was about to say. As the foreman of the jury, it's my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors.
What is happening here? Let me see. Ah, yes. It seems that the members of the jury give their verdicts. With fire? Apparently, yes. White for innocent and black for guilty. As the 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case, one by one, they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago. So if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side... Oh, so if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean... Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen.
Now I'm even more worried than I was before.
Very well. The court acknowledges the change in the jury's stance. Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination.
This is a nightmare.
Wait, does that mean, like, I'm timed then? Or was that supposed to happen?
Hold it!
He stabbed him, you say? And you were sitting up on the roof deck, were you?
That's right, sir. I was up on the roof seats.
That was a biased call? Not timed? Oh, okay.
I remember seeing the little gent standing next to the fellow that was stabbed. I'd been thinking about a new hat design, you see, so I was just gazing absent-mindedly around. But then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right out from his belly, that huge, great knife.
A grim sight indeed.
That didn't help me at all. The jury looks like they've even more convinced my client did it more than they were before.
It appears to have made everyone even more dubious that Mr. McGilded is telling the truth. If only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions.
Mr. First,
Oh, yes, sir.
is this the knife you saw?
Oh, good grief, yes, that's it! The very one, sir!
Is that?
Yes, counsel. This is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart. That is a blade of considerable size, counsel. It is, and furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial. The letter M, which seems oddly familiar.
Please, no.
M from Magnus, perhaps? Or McGilded, possibly. Take your pick.
Hello, I'm new here and I just dropped in. The voices are so impressive. I wish I was that good, but I'm excited. Arwinius, is that how you pronounce your name? Arwinius the Overlord. Thank you so much for the kind words and welcome in. If there's any constellations here, let's give a warm welcome to Arwinius.
It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake.
Objection! But there are M's everywhere! Like, yes! Like in Mason!
Objection!
Ooh. Oh my god! He sounds just like Estinien! That's so funny! For those of you guys that play Final Fantasy XIV, Van Zykes' voice actor is Estinien's voice actor.
Objection! This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. No! This weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused.
Kieran, me, welcome in.
Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, counsel.
The murder weapon has been entered into the court record. My lord, if you'll forgive the interruption. That part is the sheath, isn't it? Are you all right, Mr. Nodohodo? Oh, sorry, yes. I just don't really like blades. Oh. Those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist. That's not a blade, that's Kazuma's soul. Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like.
I can't find anything out. There's literally blood there.
That looks a lot like blood. It surely is blood. The victims. Ugh. An Englishman's blood looks quite a lot like Japanese man's blood.
This is getting heated. I have no clue what's going on. I'm so caught up. by this, leans forward in seat. As far as I've gathered, there was a murder and a boyfriend. There's always a boyfriend.
Did you think it wouldn't? Sorry, it's just that we've only arrived here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust. Yes, I do understand. An ornate letter M. Undeniably Mr. Magnus McGilded's initial. And it's beautifully gilded, too. It must be very valuable, I should think. Ah! What is it? Look at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes Wumbo. This could change everything! Wumbo? Yes, this is one of those, you know, turnabout trials. I'm sure of it. I'm afraid I don't know at all, but what I am sure of is that is Minnie. Oh. Well, the idea was quickly dashed. Ryunosuke changed it to Wumbo, and that's why I'm in love with him. I definitely think it's Wumbo. I think it's Wumbo.
Ah, juror number 2, go on.
Mr. McGilded is a pillar of society and a gentleman, and a gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. However, those of us in service know we must accept hard truths. Wait! What are you about to do? Dispose of the rubbish. No! I don't wish to cause an offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime. I have painstakingly typed every word uttered today and cross-referenced all the facts. As such, I am now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion. Oh my god! I told you. Wait. So is the case fully done then, or we'll see. No! Not again. That's 4 out of 6 jury members who proposed a guilty verdict. There are only 2 left. We've had it. Every time I press these witnesses for more information, I just make the situation worse. Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. We're still very much in the dark. I suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that more sparks may well fly. We mustn't give up hope that we'll uncover something that will give us a way to fight back. But... all right. I'll keep trying. I can't give up. I just need to keep calm and listen to the witnesses' statements again. Hold it! What exactly did you see? Oh, well, sir, that would be the passenger, sir. Yes, collapsed on the floor he was.
And by the passenger, obviously you're referring to the victim, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker.
And there was the other passenger that had the knife in his hand, like this.
By the other passenger, obviously you're referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGilded.
And then he plunged it down like this, stabbing the other passenger in the belly. What? My lord, I wish to speak.
Yes, juror number 5. Do I take it that you, too?
As the master of the London Guild of Coachmen, the idea of murder being committed in one of the city's carriages is utterly abhorrent to me. It wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, though, I said to myself. But I've heard enough now. The horse has bolted, as they say. No! No! Please! Just keep an open mind!
Giddy up now, Silverblaze. The finish is in sight.
Bluey Zozo, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. Welcome in.
Beppo is a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says. Oh, thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir.
Harwenius, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations as well. This is too unkind, sir.
Which now means that 5 jurors agreed to condemn this man.
Definitely following. That's super sweet of you.
Madam Juror number 6.
Yes, dearie. What can I do for you?
You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand.
Oh, yes. I certainly have. Still got my hearing, you know.
Then, pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your leaning?
Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit, me. I always go to the park at around this time of day and sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting. There's a lovely little park just near where I live. McGilded Park, it's called. Oh, the gentleman donated it to the city, you know, to put a smile on Londoners' faces, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have had it in him to take another man's life.
He's always doing wonderful things for the city. That's right. A man like that wouldn't stab someone, surely.
Mother, may we go to the McGilded Public Library later and borrow some more books?
How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? Do you people not know? What kind of a man Magnus McGilded really is?
What kind of a man is he?
The philanthropist, Magnus McGilded, has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so highly. But where did all that wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, sir, and one with the very darkest of souls.
Wait, hold on. I gotta Google Shylock. Hold on. Shylock is a fictional character in Shakespeare's play A Venetian Jewish Moneylender. Shylock is the play's principal antagonist. Uh-oh. I don't like... Is this anti-Semitic? Oh, gosh. I don't like the idea of that. What? Nezuko, 20 biddies, thank you!
Stone the crows!
McGilded lends money at an extortionate rates of interest so his victims have no hopes of repaying him. When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He's a vulture that preys on the weak.
I've never heard of any mention of that before.
You're so down. Wow, you guys are so nice.
Your faculties haven't deserted you, I'm sure, madam. So has this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own? What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service?
You're not saying that...
The victim, a poor brickmaker, had next to nothing to his name save considerable financial liability. It will come as no surprise that his creditor was the accused, Magnus McGilded. But let it also be known that the very day Mr. Mason was killed, the final repayment date for his debt.
Oh shit! God gracious!
The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house. He had not a shilling with which to repay his debts. And in the end, his pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him. His life. By the merciless philanthropist pretender, Magnus McGilded!
I don't believe it.
Oh, Susato, let's go, girl boss.
If I might add something briefly,
Miss Susato?
you claim that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded.
But where is the evidence to support your claim?
Oh, here we go. He's gonna do the thing.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hollowed chalice in a court of law. Aha! There it is! Lord Van Zyke's hallowed chalice!
How can this be considered acceptable?
I find myself in unexpectedly good humor. I had heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage, but I didn't expect to experience it myself.
Iomi Class, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. Welcome in.
As judicial assistant to the defense, I'm simply doing my job.
What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all shmoneys loaned by the accused.
Can we get some constellation welcomes in for Bluey Zozo and for Iomi Class?
Ah, Van Zykes. Yup, there we go. They're the thirsties.
You will find the victim's name clearly recorded inside.
Oh.
The only thing about me with bits is I didn't have any then, and then I saw you live and I grabbed my wallet. Nezuko, hold, please hold, feel free to hold them. We have a subathon in 2 weeks, so if you really feel like you would like to, you know, support the channel or anything like that, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel in 2 weeks. I would appreciate the support then, you know? Hi, how am I? I'm doing good. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. The real voice sounds just as good as the other ones. Stop being good at existing. What are you guys talking about? Okay. Yeah, no, I appreciate all support. If you guys really want to support, you know, the channel and you guys can afford to do it, I will be having a subathon in 2 weeks. And I'd love to have you guys there. I have some fun rewards for you guys. Whether or not you choose to donate, as long as you guys are there, I'm more than happy to have you guys. And then if you guys are also really interested in some other ways of supporting, I did release a holiday voice pack. It's a cute little voice drama where we go shopping together, and we go and it's like a cute little situation where we run into each other while we go Christmas shopping. But it's not really Christmas. It can be for any holiday. So you can go ahead and download that voice pack for free on Ko-Fi, and if you really feel like supporting, you can go ahead and tip or donate for that if you want. Where's my Amazon Prime account? Oh my god, don't waste your Prime on me. There's other streamers you could check out. Sorry for being dead in chat. I've been busy screenshotting every time Van Zykes has been on screen. Me too, Melon. Here, don't worry. Don't worry. Here. You want a second? You want a second to go over our screenshots? I'm waiting for him to do the thing. If you guys know Van Zykes, he does a special animation when he has his wine. Here you go. I get it. He's hot. He's pretty handsome. But that's my dream boy. He's really cute. Wait, okay, hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Sir? Ryu? What have you got hiding under your uniform? Oh my god.
Hello, Ryunosuke. I see.
Ozma, I don't know if I can say that line.
Oh.
Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. And pray forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice in a toast to the enigmatic East at the same time.
Ryunosuke, is that a sword by your side? Or are you just excited? I knew someone was gonna make that joke. I knew someone was gonna make that joke. Will Van Zykes do a good Zhongli cosplay? I feel like they're two different. I don't know.
A marvelous toast, Counsel. I will gladly accept this new evidence.
The debtor's ledger has been entered into the court record. Ah, yes, 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable sum.
This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets to London's gentry.
Oh dear, do we really ought to look inside?
Well, it's not as though we know any of London's gentry personally, is it? Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps. Actually, I wonder.
I assure you, we will not find Mr. Sholmes' name inside.
Well, let's see what we find.
Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it?
Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they?
After all, not everyone in this country is well off. Goodness!
What is it?
Look at this! Do you see the name here?
Bruce Fairplay. Should this mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar, actually.
Bruce Fairplay, the witness testifying at this very moment.
Oh, yes. Of course, the banker. Why is his name in here?
Ah, he borrowed 20 guineas, did he?
Yes, Pantsu, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. Welcome in. It's actually very ironic because I think you're the 1369th follower of this channel. Hello, Pantsu. I hope you're doing good. I love your model. That's super sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Can we get a welcome in for yes, Pantsu? Nice.
It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course, but this could be very useful information.
The details of the debtor's ledger has been updated in the court record. Girl, where have you been? Yes, it's Ace Attorney. We got Van Zykes here. There's your mans. Collect him.
And the accused made quite certain he had an ample recompense.
Sakura Rise, welcome in. Now I'm just going, wow. Sakura Wise. Sorry, I was at a con. No, I know. I hope you had fun at the con.
Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes.
You know what con I was at? I know. Rise! Got it. Sakura, like Sakura, and Rise, like Rise Kujikawa. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out to Clover Kiyomi because she's one of my dear friends and she's having her debut very soon. So please be on the lookout for her channel. Oh, you're playing Breath of the Wild.
Oh, thank you. I don't have to shoot you now, Shen.
Oh, everything looks so cute. Oh, guys, I know what Clover's model looks like, and it looks really cute. So you guys should please check it out. Van Zykes, more love, of course. Nadindra, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. Welcome in. My brain went zoom when you said Rise Kujikawa, and I'm crying. I'm sorry.
Senpai, oh my god!
Let's see her murder with those needles. Oh no! Oh my gosh. Now we're talking, once again, we're talking purse owner.
I've had the wool pulled over my eyes.
Regrettably, madam, that is the modus operandi of the accused.
And it's such a pretty little park, too. What a scoundrel!
That's where it came from? Good. No!
Still, maybe it's all for the best.
How can I use it? Huh? Wait a minute! Let's think about this a little more before.
I don't stand for nonsense.
Thank you so much for the lurk, Bluey.
was it. The last juror's decision.
Do you have a model sheet? I want to draw your... Yeah, my reference sheet is on my Twitter if you guys aren't following. I always post it under my schedules every week. But here is the direct link to my schedule, to my reference sheet. I do also have a staff. I don't know if you guys want, like... here, I'll post them both here so you can see that. Because I haven't posted the staff yet on my reference sheet. But I'll share them all right now. Hold on. So here's the staff. I want to snatch your hairstyle. I'm so happy that my mama designed me the way that I look. I'm really, really grateful for it. And then here's my reference sheet. Yeah! Here's my reference sheet. Love this game. Glad you're playing it. Welcome in, Pedro. I hope you're doing good. So anyways, here, let's put this here. Oh, let me put this above here. Light. There you go. So here is what, here, let me zoom in the staff a little bit. So it is a staff and it's also a microphone so that I could sing for you in karaoke's. It has a little cord that goes all the way through. And then there's cute little stars on the bottom because you guys are my constellations. That's the fan name. Yay! Yeah, I know. My mama and my friend that has designed the staff, who also designed the emotes, they're all really fantastic artists. So please, the credits are all available in the About section, so please check them out. I love how the staff is made. Nice touch. Thank you.
That was it. The last juror's decision.
According to this encyclopedia of British law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended, and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here.
Your staff gives me ideas and inspo. Aw, thank you. Yeah, you guys don't have to, but if you guys want to draw fan art, I would really appreciate it. We do have a hashtag for that, so I can see it on Twitter. It is hashtag photocards with a K, because my name is Kieran. But yeah, I'm super grateful for anyone that wants to spend time doing anything. I want to hear you sing I Must Be Here for That. That is one of the rewards for the subathon. If you guys are one of the top donators, you guys can go ahead, or no, I think, hold on, let me pull up the subathon image really fast. Let me pull up the, I think is it this page? If you guys, for anyone that donates 10 subs or more, you guys can choose a song for me to sing on my debut karaoke when we debut with Live 2D. But that's a little bit off from now, but I mean, I'm a theater kid, so I sing pretty much anytime. But yeah,
that's what it says here.
The final verdict. It's over then.
Oh. There's a footnote, though.
A footnote?
However, the defense...
All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case. Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision. According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude the trial by delivering my final verdict. I trust there are no objections.
Miss Susato.
What?
Just tell me one more thing. Oh, yes? You were in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in your encyclopedia of British law. However, the defense... What did it say next? Oh, yes, of course. One moment.
The way your mom and friend worked on your character is insanely touching and cute. I'm learning English, sorry. You have perfect English, you're fine. I'm so glad you guys like the design, it makes me really happy. just so I know, because I've heard your name before. Is it pronounced Evgenia? If only this was in France. Sag, I'm French, by the way, so that's why I want it to be in France for a small explanation. Wait, wait, what time is it in France right now? Hold on. It's like really late in Europe. Hold on, what time is it in Ljubljana? It is 3:53 a.m. Is it 3 a.m. for you? Evgenia, okay, yeah. I know the name Evgenia because of the figure skater. Evgenia, I don't remember her last name, but she did like a Sailor Moon routine, I think. Emo thinks it's evening or midnight. 5:53. Oh.
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, one moment. When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended, and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point.
I live in America, but I'm from France, so it's my first language. Oh, you moved here to be with your Oh, that's so sweet. That's so cute. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Well, bonjour to you. That's all I know. Je m'appelle Kieran. This is my real Russian first and last name. Oh, well, be careful about your information, but yeah.
Has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point.
So the defense has a right to do a Deus Ex Machina, a powerful lawyer move.
Summation examination?
Objection!
Objection! A summation examination. From which century has that tome you've been there resurrected? Judging from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give an antiquated procedure a mention. It's a relic, long forgotten, and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck.
Oh. What even is it, Miss Susato?
This so-called summation examination.
Oh, one moment, and I'll read about it.
You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails? Typical Nipponese.
All right, Mr. Naruhodo, I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure, we would be able to appeal to the members of the jury.
To do what exactly?
Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decisions. And it says here that, if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed.
Make them reverse their decisions.
Yes, in times gone by, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. But that procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, so it rather fell out of use.
I wonder why.
Because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would have been hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try in this day and age.
Still, I don't see any mention of this procedure actually being formally revoked.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
A summation examination. Our last possible option. Do we assert our right to carry it out or admit defeat?
Hell yeah, Phoenix, right time, let's revive this defense!
The defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination, my lord!
Objection!
London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on Earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of a judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection!
Objection! But if it's our right, it's our right! I believe it can prove vital in this trial.
The defense's petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination.
This is madness.
Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready?
Well, I'm not, there was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so... All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they've reached their decision. On what grounds?
A message from Phoenix. Please stop stealing our feathers. Not all feathers are downs. We only have so many of those. Can you tell Phoenix that I really want to kiss him and that I really want him to hold me with his big, strong, beefy arms and that I really... Oh my goodness, I feel so embarrassed saying that now! Call me Oscar. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, gamers. Let's go ahead and say hi to our friends. Hold on. No, Oscar, you didn't say anything! No! Gamer FNAF, thank you so much for joining the constellations and following. No, pretend that didn't happen. You didn't hear anything. Shadow Vibes, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. Oh, God. Welcome in, Raiders. If you guys are new here, it is super nice to meet you guys. My name is Kieran. I am a magical boy idol VTuber. I'm also a queer Filipino-American voice actor for animation, anime, and video games. If you guys play Fire Emblem Heroes, I provide the English voices for Sane and for Rickard in that game. If you guys like Genshin Impact, I provide the English voice for Kazuha's great-grandfather, Kaedehara Yoshinori. And if you guys like Yaoi or Boys Love, I provide the English voice for Koichi Mizuki in The Titan's Bride. Currently, we are in the middle of a trial for The Great Ace Attorney. It is a great game. If you guys need to head out because you guys don't want to be spoiled, I completely understand. No, Sane, S-A-I-N, from Blazing Blade, from the GBA game. And so, yeah, it's getting really juicy. We're starting to turn things around. So if you guys want to stick around, I'd love to have you guys. If you guys need to head out, I completely understand. Actually, the care package is gonna redeem in about a minute or so. Yeah, the Playboy Lancer, that's right. I play him. But yeah, we are all different in so many ways, and that's something we can be proud of. Never be afraid to show your true colors and your scars because they're unique and wonderful. That's super cute. Thank you so much for that message. That's super kind of you. I appreciate that. I hope you guys had a good stream. You voiced Kazuha's grandfather? Yeah, that was me. Floral Sunset, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. I actually have him, but I don't touch him. That's fine. If you don't really use him, it's like, I'm not gonna force you to. But yeah. Oscar, I hope your stream went well. Feel free to let me know what you guys were playing. If you guys want to answer today's check-in question, the check-in question is, what games are hopefully coming out this year that you're looking forward to? We better have you as a playable in Genshin. Let's see. You guys were playing FNAF? Oh my god, I could never. I'm such a scaredy cat. I hate horror games and I hate jump scares the most, so I can't handle FNAF. But yeah. Thank you guys for all the kind words, and thank you so much for everyone following and joining the constellations. I really appreciate it. We're gonna be going back to the case, so if you guys need to head out, I completely understand, but if you guys want to stick along and have some fun with us, there's a seat open for you guys. BMO hopes for the localization of Helios Rising. Me too, BMO! Me too! Do you want me? Let me open up my copy of Helios. Hold on. Let me see who I have. Do I still have it on my phone? I don't. I deleted it. But you guys can guess who my favorite is. There we go, Oscar. You want the care package? Well, you guys had a really long stream, so let's all go ahead. Actually, we're gonna go ahead and stand up. No, Oscar, you can't leave yet. We're gonna do a group stretch together. We're gonna go ahead and stretch out because you guys had a long stream. Let's go ahead and stand up. Let's twist our body to the left. We're gonna twist our body to the right. We're gonna stretch our arms straight up to the sky. Roll out that right shoulder. Roll out that left shoulder.
Very slowly and very gently roll out your neck.
Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. One more deep breath in. And a deep breath out.
Well, let's go ahead and drink some water. All right. Thank you so much for the raid. Take care. Have a good one. We'll see you again soon.
You must all justify your decisions and explain why you believe the defendant be guilty. Well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot.
This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before.
I don't really hold with all this justifying lark.
It seems to have thrown the jurors off. It seems none of them have experienced this before.
BMO is low-key ogling for Ash, especially the prison card. You're an Oscar fan? Let's go. I do like Oscar, but no, actually, my favorite in Helios is Faith. I have an important and totally relative question. What's up?
A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Well, just maybe. It might be the opportunity we've been looking for to turn this trial around!
So be it then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. The court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant, Magnus McGilded, guilty of this most serious crime.
You could go anywhere in the world. Where and why would you go? So actually, I'm going on a vacation trip to Japan next month, which is why we are having the subathon, because I really would like to raise some extra funds so that I can, comfortably enjoy the trip. But we'll talk more about that in 2 weeks when we have the subathon. But other than that, I really want to go back to San Francisco because I really enjoyed NorCal. The Beanbro, Akira and Faith, yeah, or Keith. Oh no, Keith Max, yeah. The jurors' contentions.
There was one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him.
I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers, with fares totaling 20 pence.
He stuck the chap next to him just like this! Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. Nushi, welcome in. Hello to you.
I have simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion.
You can trust the guild. Fair fares as our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years.
The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. It beggars belief.
I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now.
Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, though, do they?
Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I also need to save my game. I don't know British coin, but that seems... I don't know British coin either. Fair fares for a fairy's fair judgment.
I'll have to throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive language.
Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. According to my book, that's not quite how it works.
Oh? I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant.
Unfortunately. Once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says.
But then...
They've reached their conclusions by their own reasonings, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become.
Then what on earth am I supposed to do?
Oh dear. I'm just citing what I read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo.
Right. I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work, then?
Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your arguments.
What do you mean?
Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to be present to present a united front, but the truth is, they're complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together.
And that's the way to break them down, you mean?
Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says.
But what if they say nothing of note and just go because I felt like it? I don't know.
And see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other.
I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination.
Oh, yes, I suppose you're right.
Yeah, so if you look at her kimono, the kimono is really long because it's basically a pocket she could use, and the armhole is very small, so it won't fall out.
Find contradictions in their statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. All right, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I have to pull this off!
He's making a kissy face for me! I love you, Ryu.
Murder? Welcome in, Queen.
Can we start proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take a stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal.
Yes, my lord.
Okay, hold on. I gotta pee. I have to go use the bathroom really fast. Ken, when's the last time you watered your suit flowers? I don't know. Oh, they're part of my cape, my scarf. Zozabal, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. I'm gonna go ahead and use the bathroom really fast, so I'll BRB really quick. Okay.
Hold it! Certainly, the testimonies we've heard suggested the victim and Mr. McGilded were alone inside the carriage.
Precisely my point.
But, could there be some other explanation? Something we haven't considered yet?
Such as?
Well, perhaps that's something we could, all work out together now. Ah, that's a gun! Oh my god! Oh my god! He's so cute here!
That's my favorite Phoenix Wright pose. Oh my god.
Now listen here. Maybe you don't know how things work around here because you're from foreign climes. But we're here to form our opinions on individuals. And I have.
Oh dear, he doesn't appear to be in the mood to consider an alternative point of view, does he?
No, I'm going to have to pit the jurors against one another, like Susato-san said. Finding contradictions in these 6 people's assertions is the only way I'm going to succeed.
Wait, I gotta go back. I gotta go back.
Hold it!
Did I get it? 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 I want it without the frame. I wish there was a hide UI button. You know, a lot of visual novels have that.
Hold it!
Did I get it? 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 Yeah! Hold on, I gotta tweet this. I have to tweet this. Hold on. This is very important for me. The size of my SD card is literally like 300 gigabytes. It's fine. You guys keep on saying this, but it's okay. Okay, now we can continue.
I trust the driver.
Hold it! But does his ability to recall his takings that night really tell us how trustworthy the man is?
I manage all his lordship's cash affairs, so I'm very particular when it comes to accounts.
I see.
A single penny can mean the difference between life and death, after all, can't it?
That's a saying in your country?
My point is, a man who minds his figures is a mind you can trust. Those of us in service would swear to that, sir.
Does that bench really need any more polishing? Did I get it? Did I get it? Did I get it? Did I get it? Okay. Why does Ryunosuke have a katana? Okay, so the katana is his boyfriend's, who, spoilers, died in the last trial. So he basically, his dying will was to give it to us to carry on his dreams and his wishes. Because to him, the katana is like the entire soul of a Japanese man.
So if a good driver says that he saw Mr. McGilded in the act, I don't doubt him. The only task left to do today is disposing of the rubbish.
Ah, now wait a moment.
One of the other jurors mentioned something about shmoney, I think.
Welcome in, Parabolic. I hope you're doing good.
Now would be a very good time to listen carefully to the jurors' statements again, Mr. Naruhodo. If you notice an inconsistency in what 2 different jurors are saying,
I should expose it by pitting them against each other.
Yes, let's see if I can do just that.
I'm very sick! Oh no! Guys, can we send some good energy and some healing vibes to Parabolic?
Hold it!
Hopefully, you know, so they can get better? A man who minds his figures is a man you can trust. Those in service would swear to that. sick too, Arwenius? Let's send some more healing vibes to Arwenius. Also, Chill and Trying, welcome in. On to Beam. Oh, you know what? Okay, let's send some healing energy to everyone here. Let's send a good old healing vibes. I'm gonna cast a magic spell. Do I have a good? I have a sound effect for this. I'm gonna take all your sicknesses and I'm gonna shrink them as small as they can be. Shrinking. I'll heal you. Here.
Yeah. What can I do for you?
Let's tell your sickness.
I have an idea.
Really? What is it?
Let's leave.
Shrinking, you say. That doesn't look like J Triumph's account. Hold it! Careful! You could hurt somebody with that. Sisk, you're a fine one to talk. With that sword hanging from your waist, No, that's just my boyfriend. Well, anyway, I despise anyone with too much money. They're all the same, all stabbing some brickmaker or other behind the scenes, you mark my words.
Objection!
Objection! That seems very unlikely, doesn't it? Are you mad, man? We know that the small shorty is a rotten Shylock. Well, yes, that does seem to be the case, but... Mr. Naruhodo, please be careful what you say. If he's been trying to squeeze money out of us less fortunate, then it's as far as I'm concerned. He's as guilty as sin, that man can hang!
Come to think of it, didn't one of the other jurors have something to say about the defendant's underhanded activities? If you've thought of something, Mr. Naruhodo, don't let it go. Test your theory. Pit the two jurors whose statements seem to be completely contradictory.
Oh, okay, so him the mate.
No time like the present to use X to pit them against each other, or I'll never get anywhere.
Oh, my sweet Ryunosuke.
Objection!
Objection! Oh! Those two statements clearly contradicted each other.
Hold it!
As the foreman of the jury, I refuse to accept this outlandish interjection. There's no contradiction here, you young stripling. None whatsoever.
But they told me to!
Hold it!
Hold it! What have you been doing all this time? What have you been doing all this time? There. I should have thought it was obvious. I'm recording everything that takes place as part of these proceedings. And what have you learned from that? For example, at this moment in time, the judge has used his gavel 11 times in total. The prosecution has snorted derisively at your remarks 7 times in total. And, I might add, each time you have gawped like a simpleton. Thank you.
What's this point exactly?
So, anyway, madam, are you able to explain why you think the defendant is guilty? That is a conclusion I have drawn as the result of the copious notes I've typed. Clearly, but I'm asking you to explain why you've drawn to that conclusion. Please don't distract me. It makes it extremely hard to concentrate on my note-keeping.
This is going nowhere.
Hold it! This is how much it costs to take the omnibus?
That's right. As the guildmaster, I've decided to set a policy for all drivers across the city.
Man, can't wait for how much is 4 pence?
One fare no matter which bus you take or how far you've gone. We have to compete with the rise of the motor car, you see. Us coachmen have to make a stand together.
Motor cars, you say?
Yes, and the murder on one of our buses is extremely damaging to our cause. It's beyond the pale. It'll lead to a decline in passengers, you mark my words, and it's all that rascal's fault. He has to pay.
Is it the crime or his buses that he's more worried about?
Anyway, every member of my guild is reliable and trustworthy. So if the driver says he saw him do it, that fellow in the dock is as guilty as sin. The scoundrel!
Hold it! I really think you should stop waving that needle around.
You heard what the good coachman said before, didn't you? That hideous man stabbed the poor fellow just like this!
Yes. That is what he said, you're right.
McGilded Park is such a lovely little place, too. I've always enjoyed resting my legs there while I get on my knitting. And I had thought that anyone who donated such a delightful place must be a fine fellow indeed. I suppose I was wrong. Whoever would have thought he was a miserable, murdering moneylender with not a scrap of remorse?
Oh, help. She's as sure can be that he's guilty now.
The old lady certainly seems to know how her mind, doesn't she? So, we just need to find 2 jurors with contradictory statements and pit them against each other. Which is so much easier said than done.
Is that what perhaps you were just thinking? How did you know?
Well, I took the liberty of doing some research in case you happen to find yourself in just a situation. Shall I read you what I found out? It's a little long, I'm afraid.
Sure.
Very well. Listen to this. During the summation examination, you will hear the assertions of 6 members of the jury. Assertions, my bad. In this situation, the counsel for the defense should use X and pit with impunity. Having done so, you will be able to compare the chosen assertion with those of the other jurors. Select the corresponding buttons to listen to the other jurors' assertions again. Note that you cannot choose the assertion of the juror you initially selected, nor can you choose assertions of jurors who have changed their leaning to not guilty already. Once you've compared the various jurors' assertions, work out which 2 contradict each other, and then pit together with X to pull them apart.
I see. She wasn't joking when she said it was long.
The first step is to listen very carefully to what each individual juror has to say. Then, I'm sure you'll start to see which ones might not quite agree with each other.
All right, then. Let's get this right now, so I never have to listen to that long and boring explanation again.
That's the spirit.
Let me save my game. Hold on. Reason
Skill fair, bleaches is our model. We don't raise what? £20. Is it the pence ones?
Objection!
Objection! Huh! Those two statements clearly contradict each other. They do? Explain yourself, counsel.
Me? Oh dear. What have I said?
I swear on Silver Blaze's maiden name, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. Oh! According to the group testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares. No, not her. Not that old hag. No, not you.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Quite right. I have those precise details typed neatly here in front of me.
And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. That katana's very beautiful. It's a beautiful soul. That it is. A fair and convenient single price. Just the way London's carriages should be operated. But it doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man, why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication...
It would be 16 pence.
Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact.
Oh, his hand on his katana!
Or precisely 1 person's fare. No, please, 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 please tell me I got it. 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 Yeah! I gotta tweet this. I have to tweet this. There we go. One person's fare? Yes! In other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible that there was another passenger we've heard nothing about! Good gracious! This can't be right! The coachmen of the guild are honest, good men, one and all. Trustworthiness is our watchword. I just noticed his mustache is a horseshoe.
The figures on your coachman's claims are most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy.
I beg your pardon? Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if the trial were to end now, the news would surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he let nefarious characters ride on his omnibus. I knew the necktie, but his mustache. All right then, how do I make it so that this miserable trial doesn't end,
Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire into the innocent side on the set of the scales.
Now hold your horses there, coachman! We were all in agreement! Why do you have to go and...
Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo!
This is all very irritating.
Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same.
For the love of Mike! Not you as well!
A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters.
Oh, really?
I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. You did it! If we can manage to change 2 more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue.
2 more. Actually,
There is something else that's been bothering me about a couple of their assertions.
And that's what you must strike next.
So, I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show there's another contradiction in their assertions.
Exactly. You can do it.
Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination.
I think it's these 2.
Objection! Huh. Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other.
As the foreman of this jury, I refuse to accept this outlandish interjection.
Well, Ocean Ma, thank you so much for following and joining the Constellations. Welcome in.
Contradiction. Oh. On the floor?
Objection!
Objection! Those 2 statements are completely contradictory.
What? Explain, counsel, post-haste.
Oh, dearie me. I was only knitting a jumper for my other half.
What's all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you?
We've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3.
What? Can't you see I'm busy here?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it?
Ha! Wanna test me, do you? Ha! It's like this! Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up, just like the prim banker said.
Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony, quite true.
Now then, juror number 6.
Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do for you, you strapping, handsome young man? I'm sure there's another young man out there that's quite in love with you, very smitten indeed, yes.
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam?
Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so.
Now don't move! Take a look at these 2 jurors!
He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor.
Granny senses are sharp.
Well, I'd never. They're stabbing in totally different directions.
What?
Bless my stitches! What a muddle!
What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh.
But why? Why the dickens would they lie?
I don't know that yet, but what I do know is that the trial ends at this point. If the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. It's 10:40 and I gotta get up and
Rifsty, go to bed. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. I
can't abide people telling lies. The scales. I don't believe it.
Wait! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, and you cannot listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all.
If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? I would be making every single man in the world homosexual.
Answer me this, Doc Jinx.
Huh? Me?
What exactly is the problem? What of it if two witnesses have slightly different recollections of events?
What of it?
Let's say that Shylock did stab the victim as he sat next to him on the omnibus, and this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor, and then the Shylock stabbed him again! And this old lady saw him do it! Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that,
What are you calling a dandy, sir?
I should take this knife to you!
Who are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you!
They're ready to kill each other now. Could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime?
No. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman.
What is it, you dark jinx? Come on, out with it!
What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question.
What? What are you talking about, man? How could you possibly say that? You do realize I'm only doing my job! As foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction! So where's your evidence, man? That's what I want to see! I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, then show me some proof!
It looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something that he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence.
As you wish.
What?
I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw different moments of the same crime. It's proven by... Take that! This clear piece of evidence! Well, Mr. Foreman? No, it's not it. That's not it. Oh, single stab wound. Single stab wound. Take that!
Take that!
This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen. Only once.
Only once?
It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times. All right, I concede defeat.
Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leaning to not guilty.
We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won.
What are you playing at, you dandy fool?
Shut your trap, sir.
No one deceives me.
We had a consensus.
I said, shut your trap! Cute Bunny, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. Welcome in. I know a liar when I see one. And if that chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head.
Please tell me he's a barber.
Well, it's in a remarkable turn of events. The defense's summation examination is flipped for the balance of the scales of justice.
Do we see profiles on any of the jurors or no? No, only the... Got it.
The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty.
Hello, really like your voice acting. Aw, thank you, Cute Bunny. I hope you're having a good time. Can we get a warm constellations welcome for Cute Bunny?
Accordingly, there's no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate. And the trial must continue. I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. And I call upon all of you to continue the pursuit of truth.
Okay. All right, good night, Rifsty.
So, Lord Van Zykes, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please. Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hallowed chalice, it may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zykes!
Is it cold in here? Or is it just me?
As your antiquated tome no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination. So I honor to deathly silence and listen to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No. And why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle.
Let's go!
Bring forth the witnesses once more! Witnesses! I trust you've heard the summation examination we have just had to endure.
Oh, yes, sir. I did that, sir.
Of course I heard it.
Oh, yes, sir. I heard it.
You, sir, on the end, the coachman. I believe it's Beppo.
Yes, sir. My lord, sir.
If it transpires in your previous testimony, you were attempting to veil the presence of a fifth passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir.
Oh, mio Dio.
Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination.
I only carried 4 passengers that night. I swear on it.
Well, I for one was told I only had to pay 5 pence for the bus.
He fattened us on the fare, he did. And then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much.
I tell you, I saw Mr. McGilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands.
Oh, yes. Yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes.
Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. The phantom fifth passenger, conjured up into existence by my learned Eastern friend, never existed.
Vivi Atelier, thank you so much for the raid. Raiders, welcome in. Hope you guys are all doing good. Hello, hiya, hey, hey to you guys. We are currently playing the Great Ace Attorney. I hope you guys are all doing good. Vivi, I hope your stream went well. What's going on? We are currently playing Great Ace Attorney, and we currently are in the middle of a trial. So if you guys don't want to watch for spoilers, I completely get it. But if you guys want to stick around, feel free to cozy on up in. Today's check-in question is, what game is hopefully coming out this year that you're looking forward to? Hey friends, I hope you guys are all doing good. But yeah, so for anyone that's new here, nice to meet you guys. My name is Kieran. I'm a queer Filipino-American voice actor for animation, anime, and video games. I'm also a magical boy idol, a VTuber. You guys might know me from Fire Emblem Heroes as the English voices of Sane and Rickard. Also Genshin Impact as Kaedehara Yoshinori, Kazuha's great-grandfather. And the Titan's Bride as Koichi Mizuki. So yay! We're getting to see Kieran ogling for Ryu and Van Zykes. Listen, you guys are clearly not Ace Attorney gamers. Because every person that's in this stream right now that does know Ace Attorney has acknowledged that everyone in Ace Attorney is really fucking hot. So yeah, if you guys want to see some hot men, stick around for a little bit. But like I said, if you guys need to head out, I completely understand. We're gonna go ahead and switch screen soon. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The phantom fifth passenger, conjured up into existence by my learned Eastern friend, never existed.
Daddy Van Zykes, let's go!
The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little cozenage.
Beppo, explain yourself! I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster.
The guild's
fare? The guild's fare is 4 pence across the board. You know that? Am I to understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny a fare? This is so cold, and the last run of the day is always half empty.
You have been dishonest, coachman.
I'm sorry.
You're a disgrace, Beppo! A disgrace! And your selfish actions have brought dishonor to the entire guild!
If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week.
What?
4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the results come out differently. No, that figures.
Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please. We've already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games.
Absolutely! Gonna go eat something before I pass out. No problem. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope you had enjoyed your stay. Take care. Eat some gummy, yummy, delicious foods. And we'll see you soon. Hold it! So, there were only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them the standard 4 pence fare. Is that right?
It's impossible to make the last run of the day, baby. It was so cold, and all I could do to stop myself passing out
I'm getting chillblains just listening to you.
It was terrible. I wanted to give myself a pat on the back for keeping the bus running. Does the dedicated coachman deserve an extra penny passenger?
You're digging a deeper hole for yourself here.
If only there had been a fifth passenger on the omnibus that night. Then we would have had another suspect.
Hold it!
Does that mean everyone on board that night paid 5 pence instead of 4?
Well, I paid 5 pence too, sir.
And I just told you that I did.
A flat fare of 5 pence across the board.
It's not something to be proud of.
The so-called discrepancy my learned friend identified was nothing of the sort. Much like the phantom killer you so desperately needed. It's gone. Dead. Buried.
I'd have been happy if it had ever existed in the first place.
Hold it! This blood-curdling sight. You mean the murder, I presume?
Yes, sir.
Need to crash and head out, but mucho love for Ace Attorney. No problem, Vivi. Thank you so much for choosing to share your community with me. I greatly appreciate it. Take care, and we can see you again soon.
A loathsome sight. No one should have to witness the horror in the eyes of a man the moment his life is taken.
Oh, well, not exactly, sir.
I mean, I didn't actually see the exact moment the gent was stabbed.
Good gracious! Really? We have another witness who did, however. A banker has already testified to it.
If Mr. First didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed, that may turn out to be very significant.
I heard the banker next to me take a sharp intake of breath, see? That's when I looked through the glass. That's when I saw that horrible blade poking out of his belly, all covered in blood. Every time I see a knife now, I can't help screaming, even when I'm eating.
Hold it!
So you saw the defendant, Mr. McGilded, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was standing next to him?
That's what I said, isn't it?
It was bothering me before, this was. For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question.
Anyway, there was only 2 of them inside the carriage, wasn't there? There's been much talk of a 5th passenger, but as yet, 0 evidence.
Then what are we wasting all this time for, hey? It's black and white. The man's guilty.
Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars with me. I wish I could work out what it was.
I think, wait, is Fairplay the one whose name was in this? Yes. I'm gonna go ahead and save. I'm gonna go ahead and try accusing him. We're gonna go ahead and present.
Objection!
Objection! No, okay, that wasn't it. Still so entranced by the voices. They are so good, and you have so much talent that I wish I had. I'm very limited to deep voice characters, and even then, my voice has a sort of natural rasp to it. There's still I don't feel you should always be. You should be proud of whatever voice you have. Like there's a million different characters
in this world, in so many different fictional medias. And your voice, if you have a deep voice, it's probably extremely attractive to a lot of people. So hold that with pride and just keep on working on it. Hello, hello, I just joined after cleaning a whole cup of water. Oh no! Oh no, Genrex, I'm so sorry to hear that. Is everything okay? Are you okay and safe?
Hold it!
Earlier, you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you?
Oh, yes, yes, that's right.
You said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding a knife in an ice pick grip.
I suppose. I might have, you know, yes, put the cart before the horse, maybe.
What's this?
Well, I'm quite sure about most of it.
I'm good. My pride isn't since my friend laughed at me since I have major butterfingers. Aww! Oh no! Wait, are you hanging out with your friend? Don't watch me. Go hang out with your friend.
I was driving the horses when I heard a scream from the seats of the roof deck.
Oh, I expect that was me, sir.
Then I turned around. Yes, I saw it through the skylight.
We pursue this then?
The gentleman was on the floor, and the knife was sticking up out of his midriff. That's right, yes. And the fellow holding the handle was the famous man, yes.
So, in short, you didn't see the movement when the victim was actually stabbed at all?
I really thought that I did, but when I go over it again in my head, no, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing, did I?
Excuse me.
Excuse me! Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay? We're both watching Lamau. She's still laughing at me. Sag, we're waiting for pizza to cook. Hey, Genrex's friend. Thank you so much for watching the stream with Genrex. Please treat them well. They've been super kind to me, so I hope they're super kind to you as well.
Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. He didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that?
Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed? Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through a skylight on top of an omnibus, that is.
Peeping? I am a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. And I know what I saw. I remember it as clear as a Ballarat day. It was a grim scene. I don't mind telling you. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay.
Great use of... Did I use reverb on accident? Oh no. Oh, are you talking about the inner thoughts? She said, and I quote, "She's kind to you, but a bitch to me. I love her, though. At least she loves me." Oh. Well, thank you so much for taking your time to listen to me. I appreciate it. Yeah, no. I think that was a really smart idea to do, so.
Oh, excuse me. I was getting a little hot under the collar there, my lord. I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw. Oh, I can do that all right. I'll tell you just how grim it was. Huh. Do you think I'd forget the sly sight of those blood-soaked hands after the butcher stabbed the man? Hold it!
Love doing that. It really immerses you. I hope you guys are enjoying the streams. I have a lot of fun playing this game, so if you guys are having fun, that makes me even happier. Blood-soaked? Ahem. Well, perhaps soaked is laying it on a little thick, but...
Oh, thank you for the care package, Arwinius. Let's all go ahead and stand up. Ah! Owie, 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 owie. I stubbed my toe. Ah! 1 second. I hit my toe getting out of my chair. Oh, yeah. Yup, having a good time at my pain? No, I'm fine. It's, you know, when you stub your toe. Okay, let's go ahead and stand up. We're gonna go ahead and twist our body to the left. Twist our body to the right. Stretch your arms straight up to the sky. Oh, I don't wanna look if it's bleeding or not. I hate looking at blood. We're gonna roll out that right shoulder. Roll out that left shoulder. Slowly and gently roll out your neck.
Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. One more deep breath in. And a deep breath out.
Hold on, let me go put a Band-Aid. It's because you're a slow typer. It's okay. A lot of time. I didn't expect the stream to go that long. I'll look for you. No thanks. Don't look at my feet. Okay. There we go. Don't worry, I have my little dinosaur plushie to hug too. If it were a Persona game, it would be longer. Oh god. I was thinking about streaming P3P since that's coming out next week. And there's no way in hell I was gonna, I thought about it and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna add that to the schedule because then I'm never gonna play another game for the rest of this year. My fan won't turn on.
But anyway, they were definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it.
Loba, welcome in. I hope you're doing good.
And you saw that from the roof?
Through the skylight?
Is my poor toe okay? And my toe is okay, guys. Thank you for the concern. You guys are super sweet. How does one cover an eye in French? How do you cover an eye in French? I heard they... I don't know, man. That if they do though, that'd be awesome. I'd really love to. But either way, I'm gonna get P3P because I really like P3. The Amazing Sam, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. And there is my friend. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Excuse my French. Well, that's contradictory, but thank you. Huh? Also, let us date Akihiko. Oh, if you get P3P, you can.
And there was a lamp on the inside of the carriage as well, so I'm quite sure of what I saw.
Playing AC while playing stream in the background. Gonna lurk. No problem. Thank you so much for even being here, Picoyin. I hope you're having a good one. Enjoy your AC for me. GG for Team Sweet, but guess I'm taking the L this time. Yeah, that's right, Team Sweet!
This is what a superstar looks like.
This banker's latest statement.
Oh, AC like Assassin's Creed, not Animal Crossing? Oh, well, tell your villagers in Assassin's Creed that I said hi.
I feel sure there's something not quite right about it.
Earlier, I said, oh shit. You guys can curse, it's fine. I'm an adult.
When you feel something doesn't add up, Mr. Naruhodo, That's when you should have a good look through the court record. Not long ago, this trial very nearly came to an end.
Botanic Web, howdy to you. Hope you're doing good.
Somehow, we've managed to keep our chances alive here. I can't waste this cross-examination. I have to use it to bring some new facts to light.
If you're not careful when you press these witnesses, the danger is that the jury will end up believing something unhelpful, as they did before. Hello, are the attorneys in love with you? I don't know, guys. Do you think Ryunosuke loves me?
Maybe.
But we can't let the fact of that fear of happening stop us from... So now I can't press every time! That's so annoying! Why are British people like this?
Yes, you're so right.
Genrex, thank you for the lurk.
I need to pay careful attention here. I don't want to miss even a flicker of a reaction among these witnesses.
Thank you for the lurk, Sakura Rise.
Remember, if you happen to spot one of the witnesses reacting in a strange way, don't hesitate to pursue them as to the reason.
Ay! Okay. Let's save the game. Oh wait. Do you think I'd forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after the butcher stabbed the man? No, because he had gloves. Objection! Blood-soaked hands? Well, I admit that soaked might be laying it on a little thick, but anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's a little more than peculiar. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilded, on the night in question. Oh, yes, right. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-colored stain there. His hand, I love his little glove that he has. His hand looks so holdable. But as I'm sure you can clearly see, it is only on the right-hand glove. Ugh! In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony's inconsistent! Yeah! But no! That can't be right!
So you're the liar here, then?
That's right! You were clear about it. You said, it was both hands! Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, it calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth? Ah!
Objection!
It was a simple mistake. You can't simply justify accusing this man of lying. Yes, it wasn't both hands. It was only one. But the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused.
Objection!
No! Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands. Which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court! Are you taking captures to keep evidence for the future? No, I'm taking captures so that I have a collection of my boyfriend that I can look back on anytime I want to, you know? Look. So that I can go say, "Oh, Ryunosuke, you look so cute." Evidence for my heart, yeah. Ah! Why? I'm a city banker, for pity's sake. My word should be the gold standard. I'm a gentleman and not some gutter snipe. Upstanding members of society don't prevaricate.
He's claiming to have no reason to lie. But is that really the case?
Mr. Naruhodo, if we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, it could turn the tide in this trial completely. Something to show this man has a compelling reason to lie in his testimony. My lord!
Yes, counsel?
The defense is ready to present evidence. By Jove! Are you sure? Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay has reason to lie in his testimony. Ah!
Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception of the court.
Take that! This is a list of the debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded.
Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accused's extortion.
The point is, among the names of the debtors is this name. Mr. Bruce Fairplay. Sopyeon, welcome in. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
What?
Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused?
No.
Well, it's barely worthy of being called a debt. According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say?
Well,
what of it? Let's suppose Mr. McGilded were to be found guilty of murder. I thought his name was some other F word that ended in play. Oh, Ginger! He's been spending too much time in Margaritaville, have you, Ginger? What would become of your debt in that case?
These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor, the defendant here, to be sentenced to a capital punishment, all outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled. It would cease to exist.
Cease to exist? Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw, in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant? Grr.
Order! 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 Mr. Bruce Fairplay! Yes, my lord! Let me ask you again. But be aware that your answer may have most serious implications. And be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you, or did you not, see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim?
Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony.
All right. Now let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth in a pinch.
A pinch?
But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on Mr. McGilded's hands. Both of them.
Objection!
And yet, Only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained.
So you keep saying.
I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. First.
Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself, as it happens.
Seeing what?
The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes. I'm almost sure that it was on both his hands, not just one.
What? What?
It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Yes!
Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last.
Yes. We might finally have a chance to turn things around here.
What the witnesses really saw.
There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters.
I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attackers' hands with blood on them.
I didn't actually see anything myself, no. Not until I heard that scream.
Anyway, the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we all would have seen. Well, lo and behold, in truth of fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated. I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside that carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. That much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it. That's really not what testimony is about. Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness's accounts. In other words, there's no substantial nor significant change in the facts of the case. Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel.
Yes, my lord. This trial's long! What the heck? You guys said it was gonna be short.
Hold it!
No! The evidence tells us otherwise! We have the gloves the defendant was wearing on the night in question of the court record.
I'm well aware of that, sir, but nevertheless, I know what I saw and I stand by it. The man had blood on both of his hands.
He's defiant even in the face of hard evidence. He's steadfastly refusing to admit that he might be mistaken about what he saw. But why?
Your reasoning is dire. One hand or two, the salient point remains unchanged. Minutes after the grim crime, the victim's blood dripped guiltily from the accused's fingers.
Hold it! Don't try to downplay this! Whether or not you saw the exact moment of the crime is a matter of fundamental importance as well as you know. But
For crying out loud, we all know that no one else could possibly have done it. I was just trying to save us all some time.
You have a loan of 20 guineas outstanding with the defendant, do you not? How'd you hope to release yourself from that financial burden by ensuring the defendant was found guilty? Well... It's not entirely... not what I was hoping for. I just lost a guinea or 10 when I backed the wrong horse in the Derby. That's all. Was going to win it all back. There's a fixture this weekend, that's a sure thing. A little guinea or 10? Helping my friend's Discord server, someone's at... I not even remember... I'm really sorry to hear that happened to you, Kagami-kun. You know, obviously, I am not the person you should be seeking help from because I'm not a therapist and I'm not a dietitian or anything like that. But if that ever happens, where you're put in a situation where something like that makes you uncomfortable, and if you don't feel, first of all, if you can, you know, voice out saying, hey, that's saying that is super uncomfortable and you really should not be saying that to me. If you don't feel comfortable saying that, you could try bringing it up to your friends since they own the Discord, and to have them, you know, bring that up and say that, hey, you know, what you said wasn't cool. And I'm really sorry that, you know, that happened. But, you know, obviously stuff like that, you shouldn't really pay too much mind to. Whatever you want to do with your body is up to you ultimately. And it, you know, as long as you're not hurting yourself, don't take whatever they say into account. But yeah, you know, just try to brush it off if you can.
I'm a banker. No one bats an eye if I borrow a little spending money for the weekend. I think you may have revealed more about your character than you bargained for, sir. The witness's scruples are not on trial here. Proceed to the next witness.
Is that really how that's supposed to work?
Hold it!
You definitely saw that too? Blood on both hands?
Yes, sir. I mean, I know what you're going to say. Only one of Mr. McGilded's gloves have any sign of blood on it.
That's right.
The thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. McGilded sitting beside the other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir.
He wasn't wearing these gloves?
That's correct, sir. And I saw the blood on both his bare hands quite clearly.
It's true that the dark-colored stain on the dark leather gloves wouldn't have been easy to see.
I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGilded's gloved hands.
There wasn't blood on his hands.
This is puzzling indeed. Yuck, oh yuck, gosh.
This must be significant somehow. I'm sure of it.
That's what the guy's voice. Whose voice? Van Zyke's?
Hold it!
You didn't see anything?
Oh, yes, sir. That is to say, no, sir, I didn't. I'm very sorry about what I said, sir. Very sorry, yes. It was very wrong of me to make up stories and say I saw him stab the man. Oh, what did you agree, sir?
I know what you're insinuating, but I certainly wasn't making up stories.
Still, to say you saw nothing isn't right either, is it?
No, sir. I saw nothing at all.
Mr. Beppo, you were driving your horses. At the very least, you must have enjoyed a good view of London streets, no? Why is this guy shivering so hard inside this building? He's like, you know, Mickey in that one Gift of the Magi Christmas movie. please. You didn't even see that?
It was cold that night, you see. It was all I could do to keep from passing out, sir. Yes, but my head was near fairly frozen solid. So sorry to say, sir.
It would seem prudent to avoid travel on the last omnibus service of London's cold winter nights.
Beppo! Ah!
Hold it!
And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight of the roof on the omnibus? I relate to Beppo, I'm always cold.
That's right. It was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over.
Oh yes, I remember I was shivering. It was so bitter.
Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place. Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin.
Oh? Why not?
It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door.
It was locked?
That's right! And it's a public bus service, for pity's sake! That's not what I call fair play!
Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up to the roof deck and took down longingly into the warm cabin below.
Well, I can assure you that I wasn't just looking down, I was glaring. Long and hard. And that's precisely what I can tell you with absolute confidence. And if there were anyone else at all in that cabin, I would have noticed. Unequivocal, I would say.
I'm not sure about these two witnesses.
Mistering story games, I gotta debut and get back to it. How do people hold off until debut? I can't. I mean, I'm not debuted yet. I'm technically still pre-debut, but I want to have fun streaming, so I don't really. But I guess for me, like, I do care about my debut, but it's not as important. Like, I don't want to not stream just because I'm not live 2D, you know? Otherwise, we wouldn't be hanging out. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? No, they couldn't have. It was cold. Ardian, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. I'm excited for your debut. Oh, me too. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I have a lot planned for it already. Honestly, just do it. Just stream, you know? And if anything, it's better. Like, don't take my word as like the absolute thing you need to do. But if you are like, you know, wanting to stream or you wanting to be a VTuber and you're worried that like, oh, I don't have everything like ready. I don't have the assets. I don't have the overlay. I don't have my model ready. But you want to stream? Just stream. If you have a picture of your avatar and you don't mind sharing that with everyone, obviously some people want to like hide it and like, you know, get ready for a huge debut. And like, that's fine. You deserve that too. But if you really want to stream and the only thing holding you back is that you're unofficially debuted, you don't have to be debuted to stream because I'm here. Mina, welcome in. Hope you're doing good. You were riding this omnibus and witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight in the roof of the upper deck. Is that right?
That's right, yes.
In that case, there's a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you. Welcome in, Echo Yuri.
What?
By golly, really? Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied that at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
Objection!
Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend.
Just tired and didn't sleep though. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Is it like morning time for you now? If it is, well, take your time getting ready to wake up. I think it's Monday for you guys, so you probably have to do stuff, but if you can, just give yourself a little bit of time to lay down and wake up.
properly.
The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime here is here, in the flesh.
Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demand. You will identify the area of the cross-sectional plan of the omnibus. Where exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting that the potential extra passenger could have been situated?
Going to sleep, it's 11 p.m. for me. See you some other time. Yeah, no problem. Take care. Go ahead and get some good rest. You too, Echo Yuri. You should probably get some sleep too. 5:30 a.m. I was somehow awake before my alarm goes off, so I'm staying. Aw, thanks for hanging out. It's getting late for me, so I'm gonna head out. Really nice meeting you, Kieran. Hope you hop back on another. Thank you so much for finding me and choosing to raid and whatnot, and thanks for hanging out all this time too. I hope you have a good night's sleep as well, Cian. Take care. Yeah, good night to everyone heading out.
Take that!
Both rows of the seats on the roof of the face in the direction of travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight, is as I've drawn here. Oh! That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite to the one on which the victim and his attacker were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it. Gah!
Objection! It's quite possible that some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger whom you all allude.
Can you, Mr. Naruhodo? I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck? I understand, my lord. The defense would like to put forward a name.
You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his limitations. A toast to hard lessons not learned. How many glasses he has, I don't know.
I have literally no idea. But as a proud citizen of the Japanese Empire, you will look to the sky and walk on, making sure all signs of tears are gone. Go on. This isn't just a case of going on, Miss Susato. All right then. I'll go on. The defense would like to put forward a name. What? Okay, so it would not have mattered. Nothing really matters. Anyone can see. Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters to me. any way the wind blows.
Let us not delay, Counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat.
This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor.
On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from view was...
Take that!
the passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witness of the roof deck failed to see. Has to have been Mr. Magnus McGilded!
Mick.
Mr. McGilded?
What are you talking about, Counsel? That's the name of the defendant!
Objection!
If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hollowed chalice, do forgive the courtesy. Lord Van Zykes! People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. But I see they use the terms ill-advisedly.
What are you trying to say?
Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested to that fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built.
Objection! But that premise may be wrong.
What?
If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way.
What inconsistency, Counsel?
The defendant's gloves, Your Honor, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection!
And we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains.
Objection!
The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance.
Yes, their testimony remains unchanged.
Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on the passenger's hands, both of them.
Objection!
And who was this third party?
Obviously, the true culprit!
Extraordinary! Order! 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 What exactly are you postulating?
Objection!
Objection! The defense's postulation is just that, nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
Objection!
But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats and couldn't exactly make out their faces.
Yes. The tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them, though.
Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir.
And what particular styles of hat did the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First?
I'm afraid that I don't remember.
You call yourself a hatter?
The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin.
How can you be so sure?
Because if there had been, the accused Mr. McGilded would undoubtedly have offered to depose the fact. Unless, that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed to even notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin which he traveled.
He's right. If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin on the omnibus, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGilded would have been unaware of it.
Order! There is clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand. Well, what say you, counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? As a suspect, he will already have made a full statement to the police.
But what if there was some reason why he was unable to speak freely?
Magnus McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion?
My lord.
Should we ask Mr. McGilded to testify or not? Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth.
The defense would like to call Mr. McGilded to the stand.
In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Ah, yes, I need a little more time to consider this.
If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilded has to say.
Get the man out here, I say!
It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony.
When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things at the guild.
Hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say? Oh, yes, that would be lovely.
Yes! The jury says the man must be heard! Very well. The court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once!
Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear.
Let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGilded, have you been listening to the discourse of the day?
Be sure I have, my lord.
There are now two matters on which the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin, as proposed by the defense. The second is that if such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal that fact from the police?
Begad, no! 'Tis not in my nature to hide anything at all.
Just answer the questions, please.
The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate for about this all along. Do I tell yous all, or you keep your mouth shut?
No, tell us what, Mr. McGilded.
The fine fella representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with meself and the other man, there was another passenger.
It's true!
Aye, and 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened.
You... What?!
No, Magnus McGilded. That convenient excuse can't save you now.
I'm truly sorry, so I am Lord Van Zykes.
I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police.
I do be having a very good reason, I assure you. Which was? Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time and not in any way involved, you see. What? If the police had known the wee one was there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her into this here courtroom just like myself. I was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord. And who was this young child of whom you speak? That I don't know. You don't know? Aye, well, the wee thing was just happened to be in the carriage that night. Never saw her before or since.
Objection!
We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witness's statements to be disregarded by the court. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. The urchin isn't here in the courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings.
What? Smoke! Ah! Fire! There's a fire! Look, someone's trying to get away! After them! It's no use. I can't see anything with all that smoke. What's going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo! Cover your face!
Bailiff, don't let the accused escape! Secure the omnibus! I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom.
We were hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff, amid scenes of chaos as people stumbled over one another in their desperation to flee the chamber. We had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that, for the time being at least, the trial was suspended.
To be continued. All right. I think this is the perfect place to call it. Trial Part 3. We did 2 parts of the trial. I'm going to call it here because it is 8:50 and I want to have some time for myself. So, thank you guys so much for coming out and hanging out with me. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I hope you guys enjoyed, for everyone that's new, I hope you guys had a good time and feel welcome here in the Constellations. I was not expecting to do like basically a whole case's worth of stream, but I had a lot of fun doing both trials. So it's been awesome. Thank you guys so much. We are going to be rating my dear friend Tantan Tater, who's playing Astroneer. I'm not sure what that game is, but she's a really good friend of mine. She just hit affiliate, and I want to help her, spread some love and some positivity here, since we are such an awesome community. So if you guys can, I'd love to have you guys join me in the raid. But if not, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Let me show you guys the schedule before we end really fast. Let's go ahead and pull up the schedule. For anyone that hasn't seen the schedule on Twitter, is it gone already? It's gonna be a little bit of a shorter week. Tomorrow we're gonna be playing Hollow Knight at 1 p.m. PST. Tuesday we're gonna be playing Final Fantasy XIV's newest patch. Thursday we're gonna be continuing the Great Ace Attorney. Friday we're gonna be starting Bust the Fellows, my very first Ultimate game on this channel. That isn't Dream Daddy, so that one's gonna be a lot of fun. And then this weekend I'm gonna be busy, so I will not be available. But I hope to see you guys in some streams sometime this week. If not, you can catch them up on Twitter. And of course, as always, the Discord is open if you guys are older than 18 years old. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We'll see you guys again soon. Take care, guys. Good night. Don't forget to stretch, drink water, and take your medications if you need them. And don't forget, we have the subathon in 2 weeks, so check that out. All right, guys, good night. Bye-bye.